What if I told you that the most dangerous threats to your future are actually the air you breathe in every day, the water rising outside your window, and the heat of the sun on your skin? Good evening, everybody. My name is Abigail Meyer, and I'm here to talk to you about something that affects every single one of us, yet still feels like a distant problem to a vast majority of people. That issue is climate change. Climate change is not just an environmental issue, but also a human issue. The reason I'm here today is because I believe that we're not correctly addressing this worldwide issue. Because when people talk about climate change, they talk about it like it won't affect them, or like it's just an exterior issue, when in reality, it's happening here as I speak right now. Through my research, I learned that climate change is mainly caused by human activity, but most prevalently the burning of coal, oil, and gas. These actions have accelerated tremendously since the Industrial Revolution, which has significantly increased the amount of greenhouse gases being emitted into the atmosphere, which traps heat and causes a drastic change in our Earth's climate. What are the consequences of this, you may ask? Well, this causes a rise in global temperatures, leading to melting ice caps, stronger hurricanes, an increase in the amount of wildfires, droughts, and floods, and also comes with the disappearance of species, food insecurity, and more. It is definitely scary, but unfortunately real. Our response to these global changes have been very slow, fragmented, and often driven by a skewed political representation of climate change. With all this being said, today I want to explore climate change with you all from three main interconnected perspectives. The first one is how climate change affects our daily lives, health, and overall communities. The next one is how those who contribute the least to climate change are affected the most. And finally, what policymakers and young people can actually do to create a positive change. Now, I know that everybody is worried about the polar bears, and I am too, believe me, but this isn't just about bears. It's about real people like you and me. So first, let's talk about human impact. When it comes to health, climate change isn't just heating up the earth, it's also heating up our bodies. In this, heat waves are becoming more and more deadly, especially in urban areas. Also, diseases such as malaria are spreading at a much more rapid pace due to the warm temperatures, which allow them to survive and thrive in new regions. When it comes to homes, in the United States alone, wildfires have already destroyed the entirety of multiple towns. In Bangladesh, sea levels are rising so rapidly that millions of locals are at risk of becoming climate refugees. And in the Philippines, typhoons have wiped out numerous coastal cities. When it comes to food and water, droughts are reducing crop yields significantly, and floods are even contaminating freshwater reserves. The UN estimates that climate change could push over 100 million people into extreme poverty by the year 2030, which is coming up pretty fast. Our richest countries have contributed over 80% to the carbon emissions, yet it's most commonly the developing nations who are least responsible that face the most consequences, and with no advanced medical systems or infrastructure to protect or support themselves. Even within countries, there are low-income communities as well as people of color who live in areas most vulnerable to storms and floods, who are far less likely to recover from downfall, making this not just an environmental issue, but also an issue of justice. Now, I've heard the arguments. People will say, it's not my problem, it's too late, or it's too expensive. Well, to those of you saying it's not your problem, it is your problem. If you drink water, eat food, breathe air, or plan to live on Earth in the years ahead, it is your problem. It's all of our problem. For those of you who say it's too late to fix this, science says otherwise. Every little step we take towards prevention makes a difference in the number of animal and human lives saved. And for those of you who say it's too expensive, think about how much a wildfire costs, or how much it costs to fix damages after a hurricane or tornado has occurred. This is why we need to transition to clean energy, which is definitely a long-term investment, not an expense. It's less expensive to prevent problems than to repair the damages caused. A good TED Talk should give people a new lens to view the world, so here is mine. Climate change isn't a crisis that's far away and avoidable, but more of a storm right outside your kitchen window, asthma in your lungs, crops that don't grow, and a flood right down the road. The crisis is here right now. We still have time to create change, not that much time, but enough. This is why I'm targeting two main audiences. Policymakers. You have the necessary tools needed to make global change. I beg you to listen to the science and fund renewable energy sources. Please put people before profits and create fair climate policies. Young people, you are our future. You will be the ones to vote, invent, and lead. Use your voices and your platforms to spread the message and demand change. Our Earth needs courage and action. So let's stop treating climate change like a distant problem and start treating it like what it really is, a global emergency. Thank you all, and good night.